Dear students, welcome to our class on JRF, SRF, Net 2022 latest general knowledge. In this class, we try to understand predominantly what are the major differences between organic farming and natural farming. In addition to that, some basic common farming are there. So what are those farmings? That we try to understand in the beginning. Number one, climate smart agriculture. Climate smart agriculture. CSA. Climate smart agriculture. Nowadays, the acronym CSA is most common among the agricultural scientists across the globe. Climate smart agriculture. What exactly does it mean? It relies on building resilience. It always relies on building resilience. So that means avoidance, mitigation, adaptation with reference to climate. So that's what we call it as the climate resilient agriculture, climate smart agriculture. Usually we call them as CSA, climate smart agriculture. Now there is another farming, permaculture. Permaculture. Permaculture is one of the most talked about farmings nowadays. It relies on farm design. Permaculture relies on design. In which design? What is the exact system? Farm design. Natural agriculture. Natural agriculture in a designed way, we call it as the permaculture. Third one, commonly managed natural farming. See, commonly managed, that means community managed. It relies on community extension or community management. Community extension or community management. That's what we call it as the community managed natural farming. Here, self-help groups like certain groups, they participate in the community managed natural farming. So far we tried to understand three: climate smart agriculture, which relies on building resilience; permaculture, which relies on farm design and natural agriculture; community-based natural farming, which relies on community extension or community management like self-help groups. Next one is non-pesticidal management. Non-pesticidal management. This farming focus on ecological pest management. That means preventive cure. Okay. Preventive cure or microbials or botanicals. So this is called as non-pesticidal management. Then natural farming. What is natural farming? It relies on farm-made products. Only farm-made products which are locally available. That's what we call it as the natural farming. Then organic farming. It relies on farm-made commercial products, biofertilizers, biopesticides. Organic farming relies on farm-made commercial products, biofertilizers, biopesticides. In contrast, in the natural farming, it relies on farm-made products which are locally made. In other words, zero budget natural farming. We call it as ZB. Okay, ZBNF, zero budget natural farming. Biodynamic farming. Another is biodynamic farming. It relies on natural processes, compost, manures, biosprays and all these things. This is what we call it as biodynamic farming. For your academic interest, once again, I would like to sum it up. There are different farmings. Number one, climate smart agriculture. It relies on building resilience. Permaculture, it relies on farm design. Community managed natural farming, it relies on community management. Non-pesticidal management, it focuses on ecological pest management, that is preventive care and all these things. Natural farming, it relies on farm-made products. Organic farming, it relies on farm-made commercial products, biofertilizers, biopesticides. So finally, biodynamic farming. This biodynamic farming relies on natural processes like compost, manures, biosprays and all these things. Now, see, among these there are some commonalities. In all these farmings, climate smart agriculture, permaculture, community managed natural farming, non-pesticidal management, natural farming, organic farming, biodynamic farming. These are all the things in which there are some commonalities. What are those commonalities? Increasing cropping intensity through multiple cropping systems. Increasing crop intensity through multiple cropping systems. Second one is increasing soil organic matter. Increasing soil organic matter. Third one is increasing soil health, particularly microbial population. So these are the commonalities among all these farmings. Once again, what are the commonalities I would like to share with you? Increasing cropping intensity through multiple cropping systems, increasing soil organic matter, increasing soil health by microbial population. Now, let us see what are the variations, in which there are some variations. Number one, degree of internationalization of inputs. Degree of internationalization of inputs. That means, in one country, some inputs are given. In another country, some inputs are given. Like that, microbial preparations. How you are preparing the microbials and crop choices. What are the crops? Whether it is annual crop, whether it is a perennial crop, it is a seasonal crop. All these things, they have some differences. Now, what are the core approaches for all these things? Core approaches are very interesting. Water and moisture management, core approaches. Water and soil moisture management. Integrating livestock, you are adding agriculture to livestock. That's what non-pesticidal management in general. Synthetic pesticides are less used or no use. It is another core approach. Adaptive cropping systems, to just go for some adaptive cropping systems. Sustainable nutrient management. Finally, organic seed system. The seed sowing itself, organic seed. So these are all the core approaches of these farming systems. So let us try to understand what are the major differences between organic farming and natural farming. What is organic farming? What is natural farming? You see actually the organic farming by interest, you may be interested to know what exactly is the organic farming. Organic farming is an input based system. Organic farming is an input based system guided by specific principles and regulations. It uses various amendments to improve soil fertility. Now, whereas in contrast, natural farming advocates using locally sourced materials to create necessary agriculture inputs. In inputs itself, there is a major difference between organic farming and natural farming. As far as organic farming is concerned, it is an input-based system guided by specific principles and regulations. It uses various amendments from some sources. We bring and then add amend. We amend to our soil in the farm, to improve the soil fertility. In contrast, natural farming advocates usually locally sourced materials on the farm, what are all available, only those materials to create necessary agricultural inputs, whether it is in the form of seeds, whether it is in the form of some fertilizer management or pesticide management. Locally sourced materials are used in the natural farming. These are the major differences between organic farming and natural farming. The other differences are very, very interesting. Please follow very carefully. It is very interesting. Organic farming and natural farming, where it differ a lot. Now, use of fertilizers and amendments. For example, you take this component. There are 9 components that I have taken. Number 1 component is use of fertilizers and amendments. In case of organic farming, it outlines strict guidelines for preparing certified agricultural inputs. These rules intend to prevent food and soil contamination while enhancing productivity. Enhancing productivity is the prime objective. Through what? By food and soil contamination reducing. There are certain rules, there are certain guidelines through which we can regulate the soil and food contamination by some chemicals. That is organic farming. Whereas in natural farming, it discourages the use of any imported fertilizers or soil amendments. Natural farming discourages use of any imported fertilizers or soil amendments. Many natural farming farmers believe that soil already contains essential nutrients. As a result, they focus on creating suitable conditions for microorganisms to thrive. Already NPK, zinc, whatnot, micronutrients, macronutrients are already there. In case of natural farming, it assumes that already are there, but they try to use certain microorganisms to get the benefit of already available NPK and micronutrients. Second is use of chemicals and pesticides. With reference to use of chemicals and pesticides in organic farming, approved chemicals considered safe for humans and environment are used, whereas in natural farming it prohibits the use of chemicals. Therefore, farmers rely primarily on plant diversity, adequate spacing, pruning, etc. It discourages the use of chemicals, but organic farming encourages use of chemicals which are considered safe for humans and environment. Natural farming, there is no such provision. Third one, cost of materials and inputs. Because these are all guided by certain principles. There is a requirement of labor, huge requirement of labor in case of organic farming, whereas it is in the natural farming that much labor is not required, because natural farming insists that farmers use locally sourced material and simple methods to create their own inputs. They get the input only within the farm or within the locally available resources. Therefore, the labor requirement is less. Tillage of the soil. Please note that in the organic farming, tilling is a part of soil preparation that they believe, but tilling is not permitted in natural farming. Management of weeds are concerned. Eco-friendly weedicides, herbicides, synthetic weedicides are used in the organic farming, whereas weeds are encouraged. Weeds are encouraged so long as weeds are not competing for nutrients, water and light. So in case of natural farming, weedicides are not encouraged. Weeds are welcome, which so long as they are not competing with the main crop for the resources like moisture, light and nutrients. Now, management of labor or labor requirements. The labor requirements is huge in case of organic farming, because there are certain standard rules allow farmers to use machinery. So here there is no question of any use of farm machinery in natural farming. Therefore, the labor requirement is less. Cost of materials and inputs is more in case of organic farming. Cost of inputs are less in case of natural farming. Another major difference, three more I would like to share with you. Environment impact. A little impact as possible with natural organic farming. In natural farming, use of microbiology in the soil to break down the organic matter and create diverse habitat for plants and chemicals in case of natural farming. Regulations and certifications. As I said in the beginning, natural farming and organic farming differ major. In which aspect? Regulations and certification process are there in the organic farming, whereas no certification. Farmers grow crops and they sell in the through. First they give the demonstration, then they go to the market where other farmers are selling, and to infuse the confidence, I have got this much of produce because of following natural farming. Like that, other farmers are encouraged by natural farmers. The last one is barrier to entry. What exactly does it mean? The costs, the regulations make difficult for everyone to enter into the organic farming. Naturally, it is called as a luxury farming, organic farming. So to enter by any farmer, it is very difficult, because it involves some cost, it involves some regulation, it involves some certification, etc. In case of natural farming, there are less barriers and easy to entry for any farmer. Natural farming is easy to entry by any farmers. These are all the things that I would like to share with you in this class. What we discussed include last half minute. I would like to share with you that there are different farmings. Among them, natural farming and organic farming are nowadays being practiced, being encouraged by all the governments, state governments and the central government, that is the Union Government of India. So these are all the things that I would like to share with you. Thanking you very much for your very patient hearing.